Hey there, everybody. How's it going? So things have waxed philosophical around here. And the comments have been great. So the bottom line comes down to everything is a judgment call. And what do we mean by judgment? Well, you know, photography is all about choices. And how do you make a choice? Well, you have two or more options, and you use your reason or your gut feeling to judge which choice is the one you want to make in pursuit of the goal you're trying to achieve. Basic stuff, okay? And I'm going to put on my alter ego here and my other life that I live or used to live. And let's talk about getting on an airliner. Most of us have done it. Most of us don't sit in the front seats. And by the front seats, I mean the ones with all the big windows around them, with all the controls and the buttons and the dials. I have. Okay, but when you get on an airliner and you sit in the back, you're making a judgment call. Now, it may not be a conscious judgment call, but you're making a judgment, either consciously or unconsciously, and you're accepting the choice that, for yourself, because you're getting on the airline and you're leaving your airliner and you're leaving the ground, and you're making the choice that the pilot or pilots in the front of the airplane, who literally have your life in their hands, are competent. And you assume that because they have the uniform on and they're up front pushing the buttons, that the choices that they make for you are going to keep you safe, keep you alive, and they're going to be the right choices. You are abjugating your control to someone else for the purpose of getting from point A to point B, literally putting your life in the hands of another person and the judgments that that other person is going to make. I wouldn't, if you knew, let me go a different way here. If you were getting on an airliner and you knew that the two pilots up front have crashed 5 airplanes in the past 6 months, would you go? Well, you're making a judgment call, okay? You're judging that maybe these guys aren't that safe. Now, obviously, this is an extreme example in the sense that most pilots who are incompetent aren't around. It's a self-limiting profession. There comes a point where if you're really not good enough, you're dead. Okay, think about that. Now let's apply that to photography. Because in photography, people who judge photographers are a lot more forgiving, and I think than they should be. Okay? Because photography and art, and thereby assuming it's an art form, photography is a collection. When you see a photograph, like this photograph here, how many choices went into the creation of this photograph? Okay, I made all the choices. So I chose to buy a Hasselblad camera. I chose to put an 80mm lens on it. I chose f11. I metered and got, I think the exposure was 1 minute. And I chose FP4 Plus film. I chose to mix the developer myself. I chose to develop it in ID11/D76 homebrew, 1:1 dilution for 11 minutes. All of these things affect how this final print looks. Okay, I chose to scan it. I chose to print it on my Canon Pro 1000 printer with pigment inks. I chose this is Hahnemühle hemp paper, mainly because that was what was in the drawer and I just wanted to see what it looked like. And this was a test print, but be that as it may, the final print is nice. All right, I was interrupted by FedEx, but suffice it to say that a lot of choices went into the final product, okay? And those choices aren't over. I'm going to take the negative into the darkroom and print it on Ilford fiber base using Ilford PQ Developer, which affects the final outcome, and then I'm going to selenium tone it, sepia tone it, etc. So when you're viewing a photograph, okay, hopefully there was a lot of thought and consideration put into the hundreds of choices that went into the final viewing of the photograph. And usually you can tell, okay? I know when I saw Michael Kenna's images hanging on the wall 6 weeks ago in Portland, that the person who put those images, who made those images, you know, probably a lot of the choices he makes nowadays are just ingrained in him. He's not consciously making them, but he's got 40 years of experience doing it. And so with that 40 years of experience, you can see it. You can see those images are, yeah, printed by a master printer. Okay. And it's my opinion that many photographers today, if they were airline pilots or just pilots in general, would be dead. And I'm not saying that you all suck as photographers. What I'm saying is we all can be better photographers, okay? This is not about how everybody sucks. This is about how a rising tide lifts all boats. I am 100% advocating for higher standards. All right. And that's what these philosophical videos are about when it comes to art and photography. All right. I'm advocating for higher standards. Hold the photographers. When you're judging a photographer's, when you're judging a photographer that you want to follow, judge them by the quality of their photographs, not by their gift of gab or their video skills. Okay, that's my point. Okay, look at the photographs, and if the photographs bring you joy and are pleasurable to look at and make you think and do all the things that art is supposed to do, and you can tell that they're finely crafted and exquisite. Those are the words used to describe Michael Kenna's work. It's finely crafted, it's exquisite. Some of my work, I believe, is. Okay, not all of it. And if you see it and you say it isn't, well, that means I just need to work harder. Okay? And you do too. All right? And that's my point. It's intimidating. It's daunting. There's a lot to learn. And you don't have to go down this road. Also, somebody commented, many people have commented, oh, I just do it for the fun of it. Groovy. That's awesome. That's great. And do it. Enjoy it. Have a great time. You know, photography is a passion and people are passionate about it. And I think that's wonderful. I'm not passionate about it. I'm obsessed and insane. Okay? Make of that what you will. But people are passionate about it. And the reason for that is because as an art form, it can resonate with people. Okay, just as a beautiful sun, watching a beautiful sunset, or seeing a magnificent zebra or a lion in the zoo, or better yet, in the wild. Right? There's something magical, there's something mystical, there's something transcendent. All right. There are a few images of Michael Kenna that I saw 6 weeks ago that were transcendent. There's one of a fence in snow that is just, it's, they don't call it eye candy for nothing. It's very pleasurable to look at. And if I won the $10 million lottery, I'd have a room and I'd have that photograph in it, and I'd call an electrician and have them properly light it. None of this nonsense back here. So there it is. Now, okay, judgment calls, right? So the judgment call, a choice. Some choices are mistakes, right? Some things we don't like. And it's things we like, things we don't like. I'll tell you right now what I don't like that I just noticed looking in the monitor of this video that I'm making. This light over here is the wrong color temperature, and it annoys me because I've just made a really good video and I've got a warm light here and a cold light there, and it's annoying. Okay, that's not my choice. That was an accident, and it wasn't attention to detail. This is not a finely crafted video. Okay, this is not an exquisite video because my lighting's off. And that wasn't by choice. That's called a mistake. All right. But if you say that, who are you to judge, or you usurp your ability to judge, or you don't want to make a judgment, well, then this is a great video and there's nothing wrong with it. And it wouldn't look better if the lights were matching warm color, right? But why don't I just do my videos with the pile of crap that's over in that corner of the room, right? But you try to have an aesthetically pleasing background. That's a choice. All right, now I'm going to put this video up anyway because I can tell I like the way it went. And I said what I wanted to say. And that's cool. But know this, it's a flawed video. Okay? And there's no getting around that. It is. It would have looked better and been more aesthetically pleasing to more people, in my judgment, if that light was a warm tone like that light. So it matters. Okay? So a lot of people take these videos as an attack on them or somebody else. And all I'm saying is, let's all hold each other to a higher standard. Let's demand excellence from the people who are supposed to be experts. Just like you do when you board an airliner. Do the same thing in photography. Love your comments. Really great food for thought. And very enjoyable to read them. And some great points have been made. And I really appreciate that. So, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Please subscribe. That's how YouTube keeps going. That's the whole point of YouTube. The measure of success on YouTube is subscriptions. So if you like this, I would greatly appreciate it. And I do appreciate everyone who has subscribed. I have a Patreon channel. I have a book on my website. And again, thanks for watching. And we'll see you out there. Have a great one. Bye.